Victoria 3, my friends and deep thinkers, it's there, and I've given you a poll, and you said I should play in Europe. So I've looked around in Europe. There's many different interesting countries, but I've looked around in Europe. So there's something in the center of Europe that is neither too small nor too big, that is interesting, that is thrilling because there's so much around it. That is thrilling diplomatically, and that is also like full of chances. It's not too small, but it's also not too big. It's Bavaria. Bavaria is a minor power. It's a relatively new kingdom that came to be shortly after the 1800s in some peace between France and Austria. And it has, interestingly, you can see that little thing here. Let's see. So let's first see the overview. So we have a respectable gross domestic product, 25 worldwide, but we're still not a really big power. And you can see why. I mean, we're boxed in between France, Prussia, and Austria, and also Württemberg, which is also relatively strong in here. Like it has this, it has Württemberg together with Baden has really strong military also. So we're not going to go over there and lead war. That's also not my kind of game. So if you're here for a lot of conquest, just watch my Crusader Kings game or something like that. There's a lot of conquest. But this game is, for me, so far, fascinating because of its economy simulation. It's a fantastic economy and global capitalism simulator. And it's not that easy to understand because sometimes the UI hides things from you and sometimes it shows you things. And we're just going to go deep into that. I've now 10 hours and I think or 11 hours, something like that. I think I've grasped like the main thing for me in the game, which is economy and to some part technology. What is really there to explore in depth is diplomacy, so we'll learn as we go, because I think it's a deep game. Some people have written that it's not a deep game. I think it is a game that you discover more the more you play it. And there's a lot to do in the game, and you can play it in different ways. Yeah, you can play it very quickly. Like concentrate on the markets. You can play it very detailed, very diplomatic. And we're just gonna take our time a bit, but not too much. We're gonna play mainly the economic aspect. We'll also explore the rest of the game step by step. So as you can see, we are impoverished. So, but impoverished, that's the standard of living that you have at the start of the game, right? It's just the average standard, so I don't know why it's called impoverished then, because everyone's impoverished. There's, I think, no one who is not impoverished. I mean, in Russia people are struggling, but that's normal in Russia, I'm told. But like normal countries in Europe, the average country in Europe is impoverished, and the rest is also between struggling and impoverished. It was just a harder time back then. There was, yeah, way more poor people. And that's something that we would also like to change. So that's something of the inner politics that we want to change. There's a republic next to us, or nearly next to us, which is Switzerland. It's a democratic republic. So we would really like to modernize Bavaria. Bavaria is a very conservative power, and as you might or might not know, it briefly became a communist country, very briefly, but it was then beaten down by people from the province up there, which is called Franconia, and then it was reintroduced as a monarchy and everything like that. So Bavaria is just extremely conservative, and whenever something happened there that was progressive, it was kind of beaten down. But there were happening things there that were very progressive, and we would like to try out to get Bavaria to be progressive a little bit. we have here King Ludwig the First of Bayern. He's also, yeah, he's a typical romantic. It's really cool. He's one of these flavorful people who were also connected to the construction of nice castles in Bavaria, who nearly ruined Bavaria doing that. So there's definitely a lot of flair to Bavaria, a lot of culture in that conservatism. And what we'd like to do is become a little bit maybe like Switzerland, but keep our conservative thing. So we would like to introduce the people, because we like the people. Bavaria is a very, like, the populace in Bavaria is something very important. The people of Bavaria. It's a country about the people. So if the monarchy has to give in, it doesn't want to give in to the capitalists that are also, like, so big. They would rather give in to the people. That's what I assume here with this romantic ruler and politician, King Ludwig von Bayern, even though he prefers the landowners, which are extremely extremely conservatives. They are paternalistic, stratocratic and patriarchal. So, but if they have to give up their land, it should be to their kids, which means that's the part of conservatism they have. They treat their people as their kids, right? They don't have a say, but you should care for them. That is, in general, the kind of conservatism that we have there. So, let's go for it. Let's start. I'll show you a short overview about Bavaria and what it does, and the special thing that happened, right? It was part of the peace of Austria and France, and because of that they have this weird thing here, the Bavarian Rhineland. It has the Rhine River, so it has really cool infrastructure, but it also has nothing else special. It has access to the Prussian market, so we're playing around the Prussian market, which is a very, very big and powerful market. So we will not be able to influence that much because it's such an enormous market. We have the split state of Rhineland, as you can see here. It's split between the Rhineland of Prussia and the Bavarian Rhineland of Bavaria. So that Bavarian Rhineland was kept quite a while, and because we want to keep that, we will need to kind of accommodate Prussia, but we're also close to Austria, so we have to play friends with Austria to survive. And at least Prussia and Austria we need as friends. France, I'd be careful about that, because, yeah, France is the number 2 in the world, and they are extremely, extremely dangerous still. As you can see, the Bavarian Rhineland has very low infrastructure, but they don't need that. They have 500k population. They have a relatively small part of our gross domestic product, only 5%. So the thing about it and its population is that some are unemployed. So we want to give them workplaces. But we don't want to invest too much into it because it might get attacked from France or from Prussia or from Austria or even from one of these, Baden and Württemberg, a land that is today together. Then we have friends. That is, for example, the state of Hohenzollern, and we should like keep these ties because it's just very fun to play that out. And they have the Black Forest, so they have logging industry throughput, and we might get some logging there, but there's no logging camps here for now, so we'll see about that. They're also part of the Prussian market. Anyways, we might have a pact with them or something, because they love us so much. Then we've got Prussia. They're a great power. They are probably one of the most dangerous ones out there. And we definitely need to improve relations with them. It also costs us a lot to have relations with them, but hey, we need them. They're cordial with us already, which is great because Prussia is such a military superpower. Then we have Austria. They're also cordial. Want to get that going. France is neutral. They are protective. Yeah, but we don't want protection from France. We all know Napoleon and that stuff, right? That's not so far away now. We have Hohenzollern. It's a state in Hohenzollern, and we could also improve relations there because the attitude is genial, a desirable ally. So let's have that going. It is not that effective, but it plays into some stuff. Then we have Württemberg. They're cautious with us, and that is one of the counties or countries that we might try to invade. What do they have that is desirable? You can see that they have like a lot of workshops and things like that. They have huge unused arable lands, so they're definitely something to reckon with. And I think they only have Württemberg. Then we have Baden. Baden is like that other thing, but they also have mines, iron, coal, and back then they also had things like silver mines a lot. Also a relatively strong county or country even for the size that they have. We have far more land and around double the gross domestic product. And so we had now the Rhineland pretty much lost, but with a lot of infrastructure. So there's chances there, right, for good market access and stuff. Then we have Franconia. That has no special thing that you would see here. Big part of the gross domestic product, 45%. Big population, but they're impoverished, right? We want to invest in that, into the Franconian state. They have something good that we can build here. A lot of iron mines and logging camps. So that is the thing. But most importantly, they have 91 unused arable land, and they've got wheat farms and livestock ranches. Livestock ranches we need for producing clothes, for the fabric, and of course the meat is welcome as well. Wheat farms, of course. You always need wheat farms, right? That's that's just something you have to do. You can still go for vineyards here, citrus orchards, or maintain a single crop of grain. We'll see about that. We will probably have to mix in. So we have some wine here, and we might go, we might go and do that in the Rhineland as well, because the wine there is excellent. The wine there, it's one of the best, because the Rhine has such a microclimate that it's far warmer there than in any other part of Germany. Along the Rhine, it's just always warm. Then we've got around Munich, our main state, Bavaria. And we've got lead mines here, iron mines, and a lot of coal mines. Coal, that's great, because that's what we need for all kinds of modernization. So that will be our manufacturing strategy. We want to manufacture there. We want to have the coal mines there. And right, the arable land stuff is also there, and it's also good. But we will not resort to this for now. We will try to concentrate that rather in Franconia and partly in the Bavarian Rhineland. I could imagine to split that up. Franconia has very famous fruit orchards, especially apples and things like that. So we could definitely go for citrus. Yeah, it's not citrus here, but it's apples and other fruit. That would be in Franconia. And we could have the wine in the Bavarian Rhineland, because that would make it also kind of deeply German to have that distributed like that. And around Bavaria, you know, there's a lot of, like, you know, BMW, right? It's no it's no coincidence they come from here. It's just this foundation that led to a good industry. We have coal mines, iron mines, lead mines, logging camps. That's a good solid foundation for everything. We already have glassworks. That's fantastic too. So That's what we're going to do here, and we're also going to use our authority. Among other things, of course, we want more people. That's the thing you always want. You want more people. You want to give the people what they want to survive, especially the lower classes, or it will get ugly. And we can produce everything we need, or nearly everything we need, in Bavaria. From the very simple things like food industries to the very bigger and more important things that are connected to steel, coal, and other things. And maybe we can introduce steam engines and something. So it's quite an exciting prospect. And if we manage to stay independent among these giants of Europe, then will, one, be happy, and two, we're just excellent because we're just in the middle of all of that, which makes it very, very good to trade. You don't have to trade far, and it will all be good in the end. You have beautiful supporters if you keep them happy, like Prussia and Austria. Absolutely good. We can also see if we can improve more relations of smaller ones, but I don't think that's even possible. We need 150 for that, but yeah, so that's enough now. We have 90 for whatever we can use these 90. You can see we have positive money balance, which is cool. So we can relatively relaxed go for the things. Now, what we'll first do is we'll right click here, and we should encourage manufacturing industry. So we have more service industries and manufacturing industries throughput. What we'll do here is we could do both things, right? We will now be optimistic and see to it that we might, in the Bavarian Rhineland, first concentrate on agriculture. So we'll encourage agricultural industry here. Yeah, there's also lead mines, but we also have that in Bavaria itself. And it's very, very valuable. So we don't want to make that too valuable at the start. We want to make it agricultural. That's something that is also important, but it is relatively easy to replace. So we will encourage agricultural industry here. Agricultural ranches and plantations. And we'll use Franconia, at least its iron mines first, to get resources here. Because we cannot all do it in Bavaria at once. So we'll make that happen. Then we want more people to come to us. That is extremely important, especially later on. But if you start early, it's just very good. So we have the greener grass campaign. 50% more migration attraction. So we want people to come here. And we want people to come everywhere. And that's the strength of smaller states, that you can use your authority for something like that. There's still some authority left, so we can see what we do. We would like to keep something going here, but we also have, for example, in Bavaria, we have 2 universities. So that's something that we should probably leverage. So we could promote social mobility for more qualifications that we'll also need for our manufacturing industries. Then there's enlistment efforts. That is also something cool. Promoting national values. That would lead to assimilation of the people that come to us, which is also pretty great. But for now, we don't have too many people coming in. We might do that later. What we want to do is, yeah, we could also promote social mobility here, but it's most important here in the central state. So we'll maybe go for some enlistment efforts here. Let's see. I mean, we have some barracks here. We have more barracks here, so we should also concentrate that here, the enlistment efforts. And then we've got some little bit left. And the question is, what shall we do with that? And I think we might just most probably We want to keep Bavaria Bavarian. So we'll have most people probably coming to Munich because there's also a university and everything. There's just things going on there and a big urban center. So we'll promote national values here as well. Then let's see. So we have government administration and an urban center. What I've seen that is good is always urban centers are basically what keeps you running. And so just in case our wage is too low there, we want to subsidize them. Because really the urban centers are so important to make your country function because you need those services. If the services are too expensive, there's no real way to get enough there. There's not even an urban center here, as you can see. So we have first to reach some urbanization. And how do you get urbanization? It's by expanding some advanced things. So it's unclear if we will ever get a lot of urbanization here. Then, how do you build things? You build things, you see, you have the construction sector in Bavaria here. That only accelerates building. Yeah, you have some base kind of building, and you have the construction sector. And if you expand it, you can see that costs you a lot. So we will have to expand. I mean, it also is helpful a lot, but we cannot really afford to go for that very quickly. We should first get some money together, then we can expand the construction sector. And then we can ping-pong between it, right? So, want to get a relatively positive balance, maybe a good gold reserve, and then we can go expand the construction sector, then we can build some stuff, and so on and so forth. So it's a back and forth thing that we want to do here. There's also something else that I would recommend you to do. Yeah. The government administration. You should always look at that and see if you can have like a lot organized here, because otherwise you might miss the so-called taxation capacity. What that means is if you don't have enough taxation capacity, then you won't be able to get all taxes. So you can expand your economy as much as you want, and then you're missing that, right? You might miss taxation capacity, and what then happens is that you just won't get enough taxes. You will miss some of the taxes, and it's not that bad if you miss like 5% of the taxes, but later on it is really important that everything works perfectly. And so don't forget, you want to expand that. That is also costing you a lot of money. So now, how do we begin with research? Research is also important, but it's not that important in the case that you have a lot of technology spread. If you're surrounded by these giants that are very, very progressive in a way, not in their government forms, but in their technology, they're just rich and progressive. Then you get a lot of technologies on the way, because someone is developing, you develop as well. While if you're playing something like in the middle of nowhere, like Tibet, you won't get much help there from technology. So, and we also have a university, and that will also probably help out with some research. What is really helpful usually is the production part of the research. If you've figured out what kind of economic play you want to play, then just go for it. So we'll assess what we already have, because there's some new production methods, for example, here available. And we'll see if we can improve that. So the main thing that we want to concentrate on is these advanced industries. For example, we have food industries, that's very helpful. We have glassworks, that's very helpful. And we can look at the market, and when you look at the market, you should sort after things like that. Either market price or balance. When you see balance, you see what is missing and what you should really invest in. There's a lot of buy orders for grain, but lot less sell orders, so that's something very solid to invest in. It doesn't give you a huge bonus. If you have that money here blue, then it's a relatively average price, but it's 40% more than the base price, so it's a good investment. If you have something with a lot of balance difference like this, for example, paper, it's still 199 missing. And it's expensive, then this is the thing you should invest in. And we can already see that we have, for example, groceries here. And it's part of the basic food needs, which is just extremely important to keep your people happy, not starving. Okay. So that's also something very solid to invest in, because it costs really a lot and your people will suffer, and if they suffer they go back to the subsistence farm, so they will not work at you because you cannot pay them enough from your profits that they can afford that they can afford to buy the products, so they go back to basically their gardens, their small piece of land, and just make that food themselves. It's not an existence where you have a lot of luxury, but at least they can buy what they want, at least they can eat what they want. So that's what will happen if you fail to give, especially the lower classes, their basic needs. They will not come work at you, and that can be disastrous for your industry. So that's really important. It's just important to provide everyone that. And the lower classes, like, they have the base needs, and these base needs everyone needs. So you come from that to to just about everything. So you can look at the population, and so this is very important. It's very hidden. It's also very important. So we're just going to look at not that the peasants, they are struggling. They are in subsistence farms. No, mostly. We're just going to look at the laborers. It's the lower class, lower strata, and we can now see where they are and what they want. So they're impoverished, as you can see here. And if you're in this submenu of the submenu, and wait a bit, then you can go and see that they pay an average of 11% more compared to base price for their pop needs. And that is the beginning of a problem. As you can see here, they pay on average a lot more than they should pay. And that makes it harder to hire workers. So, as you can see here, and that's one of the most important menus, the pop needs. So they pay 15% more for grain, 2% more for liquor, 17% more for clothes. And you can see the important things for the lower strata up here, like maybe down to the 6%, right? Groceries is not that important for them, but it's extremely overpriced. So you can see what they want and what they need. And what you should provide at a relatively not too expensive price. They make out 25% of the population. So they are quite important. Peasants as well, but you want to concentrate on the needs of the laborers, because the laborers will work at you. You can also look at the peasants. And you have to always wait a bit, so that stays there. And they're also part of the lower strata, so they have the same means, and they're struggling because they have less income if they work at a farm. So what do they need? What should you invest in? There's some reasonable rule that you should follow. Like, if you have like something here like over 10%, then you should work on it somehow. So if grain is that expensive, you should build something that produces grain, especially if it's 33% of their pop need expenditures. 16 there. Everything up to like 5 to 6% is kind of important. It's not alert important, but it is important. So what we should produce here to make them more happy is grain, clothes, maybe a little bit of wood. Why wood? It's not so overpriced because it's connected to furniture. And you also want more furniture, and if you produce more furniture, you have less wood. So we should work on grain, clothes, wood and furniture, maybe a bit of fabric, services, maybe groceries, because groceries, you can see that Oh, let's bring that in. We have the servicemen. They're also impoverished, but they're living a little better. They're still part of the lower strata. Lower strata is just a lot. You can see here a lot of lower strata, but there's also others that are not part of the lower strata anymore. For example, the middle strata clergymen, and they are important because they're influential. So you have the middle strata people, and they of course also have needs. So oh, now come on. Yeah, it's really, you have to go, so you cannot go here, but you have to go here, and then you can see that they're also paying 11% more. And now you can see that they have other expenditures. Like they buy also something that others wouldn't buy, like luxury furniture, or they buy way more wine. But you can see that they have around the same problems. They also pay for services, furniture, grain, clothes, and maybe a little bit for liquor. So you can definitely see that you also need more here. But you don't only need that for the pops, you also need it for industries, for services. For example, glass is very important there. But you're in a good situation if you first concentrate to make your lower folks happy, then to make the higher folks happy, and in between try to make the industries work. Wow, there's a lot of talking, but there's a lot to learn here. That's just what we should do. So let's go back to the population. And let's just make our laborers happy, because we want to kind of be connected with them. So what do we want to do? What's most important first? Grain would be a good place to start. Where did we want to have grain? We can look here. I kind of marked this. We want to have grain in the Rhineland agricultural industry. So we're going to have a building here, and we're going to invest in the wheat farms. And you can already see that's also something that gives you a hint. If we expand wheat farms, that gives you more predicted earnings per week. Now that is usually not very correct in a way that it reflects the reality of what will come out. If you expand these wheat farms, then a lot of things will also go smoother, and that will lead to increase your earnings more than that. So you might have negative predicted earnings per week from something like that, but that's only from the farm directly. When it makes other things go smoother, that might multiple your profit, which is why you can sometimes subsidize things to get to the wage, because you need something, and if you provide that, then everything else will go smoother. So we'll start here and expand the wheat farms. It will be 21 weeks, because yeah, we have 7 construction allocation here. We could expand that, but that's expensive, and for the time being, when we build something, you can see that our money goes down because they're occupied, and it costs us something, so we won't get much in terms of gold reserves while that. So let's also have a look at the research, and it's usually, there's 2 methods to this. The one is to always go for something that you just think you need at the moment, and the other thing is, if you're in a big market like we are, you could try to specialize in something. And what do you best specialize in? You best specialize in something that is either important always, or that is important, very important in the future. Because if you invest in something that's important in the future, then it will not go away. It will only expand. So you could go and invest into mines, something like that, prospecting, nitroglycerin, always things like that. That would make a lot of sense. You could also go for agriculture. That's the foundation for everything. So soil enriching farming, for example, helps a lot. If you want to go more into manufacturing, you should go into something like that, mechanical tools. So you can choose if you go like opportunistic, or if you go and specialize in something and make that your strength. But there's something to specialization, because everything is interconnected. For soil enriching farming, like for these new methods, you need more different resources that you also have to build. So you cannot like just go and specialize, because you will need things, and these things the AI might not provide. So you have to be kind of careful about that. So you invest in things that are easy to get sometimes. So what will help us quickly, for example here mechanical tools is cool, but what you need for that is you will need a lot of tools. So you will have to construct a tool workshop and so on and so forth. So it's all interconnected, but the base of everything is usually things like agriculture and mining. Then you have, for example, the military part. You can see there's a lot here. We don't want to especially go into that, especially not into frigates or something. Hydraulic cranes, on the other hand, yeah. The power of the purse, that's all naval. That's something that we don't need at the moment. And then we can go for this. So if we want to go into a military campaign, we should specialize in military first. So these technologies reflect the way you want to play. So you go for that you want to play most first. So you have an advantage in that way of playing. You can also go society, and that's also something that we want to invest in. So like we want to go back and forth probably between production and society, and we'll let military be provided by someone like Prussia or something. They will hopefully protect us and not take us out. They could take us out at any time. But they will usually not do it. We'll see how that works out. There's also a lot of ways here to make your people prosper better, and also to fulfill something that the political influencers want. So let's see. I mean, we first decided we want to go into agriculture. So we'll go for intensive agriculture. So we'll just make it together, step by step. And finally, we can start playing the game. How about that? Yeah, we also have a lot of influence, and we can already look, for example, Hohenzollern is already good with us. You can see that they would accept an alliance proposal and a defensive pact proposal. They might also give that proposal to us. It's not that important that we have something with them, because they are really not important, but it would be fun to have that. And if they propose it, we might accept it. So here we go. You can see that you always have, because it's only 100 years, we... Ah, okay, look, Schwarzburg wants to be together with us. They have like the opposite flag to us. They are blue and white, and we're white and blue. So I think that's here. Yeah, that's also nice. They are cooperative. So they will also influence, and they might one day be connected to us. So you can see what they can do, what we can do here with them. We can make them into protectorate maybe one day, and we can start the diplomatic plays there. And this here is the radicals. So if people are not happy with what you provide, they will grow into radicals. If they cannot, then their needs cannot be supplied, then they will grow into radicals. But 1,000 radicals is not a problem. But you should also, if you do it well, then you will gain loyalists. And if your loyalists are more than your radicals, you're relatively safe, usually. So, I also want to improve the literacy. And there's ample things to do that. So we'll go through the menus here. As you can see, we have an overview of the people that support you and support the government and how happy they are. Landowners, for example, are happy and they're supporting the king. Then we have the government here and laws with government. Oh, movement support, so we could change our monarchy to something else, like for example to an autocracy. We have, if we went and enact that, we would have a chance of 18% every 180 days. Because we currently have an oligarchy, we could change it to autocracy. But it's, in general, it's better to go more progressive, because it's just more effective. We could go back to hereditary bureaucrats, which is not really that effective. We could go from interventionism, from subsidizing, back to agrarianism. That will profit, the aristocrats will profit from, and so on. So everybody will profit from that, and that's why they help you enact that stuff. But we already have a lot of progressive laws in place, even though we're a monarchy. And we will keep that way. If you have new options for laws, you can look here if you have alternatives, and changing these laws, you can see who would endorse it and who would be against it. It's almost always very important to look closely what something does. Do not just enact something. It's not a good idea. Then you have institutions here, and this is something to really look at, because what you need here is bureaucracy. As you can see, we have 106 bureaucracy. A total cost per week of 122, and if we want to improve something here, for example, we have improved education to level 2, which is very nice. The Catholic Church helps us with that. And so there's different education systems. Some are connected to churches and some are connected to a political movement. This one is Catholic Church. And as long as you have Catholic Church supporting you, you can use that. Then we have law enforcement. That would give landowners more political strength and less state penalties from turmoil. And as we have some bureaucracy open, we might just use that. Usually you use bureaucracy to get more. As you can see, we have 3 incorporated states that needs a little bit. We have the POPs that need bureaucracy. We have education that needs bureaucracy. We have law enforcement, and we have two generals that also need bureaucracy support. But we could also improve that here to another investment level. We click on that, and changing to level 2 would be 50 weeks. And we'll just change it to level 2 for now. We don't have to go over the top with it, but it would be kind of cool to have that. And that will cost us a little bit more bureaucracy. We can also go for that, as, I mean, they're supporting us, right? That will be the double the weeks, so it will go from here, then to here. We'll just leave it at that. Because it's, in the end, it's good to have that. So, and technologies unlock more things that you can influence there. But for now, let's just be a little bit quicker and see what happens. This is the message board, and there you can see how long this is still there. It's mechanical tools, spreading, percussion caps, central archives, and that is something you have to be looking at. Denmark have declared Netherlands to be their rival, which is very interesting, but not for us. France have started to improve our mutual relations. They've probably seen that we're influencing Prussia and Austria, and they will also want to be in on the deal. So, and you can see that we're already doing some good, because we're also gaining loyalists. And more than the radicals, but the radicals are also rising, as you can see here. In general, it's a very, very small, slow-moving game. I like to play it on higher speeds because of the markets. You can see British response to opium ban from the Chinese. That might lead to a war there. Opium ban means that they have banned opium from their market, so you cannot have it there, and it might lead to the opium war. Danish-Spanish rivalry also declared, so Denmark is going for confrontation. Prussian market price report, that's important, especially if you have a very small country and you actively control your market. Like if it would be Prussia, this would be even more important, but you can already see the prices are changing a lot. For example, wood is going up, which is important, so we might produce more wood. Coal is going up. That is expected. We might go for more coal. Clothes are going down. Grain is going down a bit. So we might not invest more into grain next. So we might go into something like iron. Iron is going up massively on coal. Piedmont South Germany interest activated. So they're declaring interest for some diplomatic plays on these lands here. The Norwegian Rhine interest activated. Norway will now be able to participate in diplomatic plays, create trade deals with countries in the Rhine region. Also us, because we're in the Bavarian Rhineland. Papals, yeah, everyone is going for the Rhineland, and we see that because we're in that region. So let's see what we go for there. Cape Colony also wants what in the Rhine region. Sometimes things that happen there are a little bit weird, to be honest. Look at that. We have now more money, and that is for now increasing our cash reserves and our gold reserves a lot. So what we could do there is we could subsidize more. You can already see that we're doing fine with the loyalists and all, and the radicals are interestingly falling. What really helps with that is definitely subsidizing your urban center. I can only recommend, I cannot recommend that enough. It's so important that this runs smoothly and you get enough services going. You can see the Bavaria price of services is relatively low, and that helps so many people, especially the ones that have influence and that make things go smoothly. So let's see if there's something interesting there. I'm just stopping that from time to time. East India Company in the Rhineland. What? The social criticism is deactivated, so we get more prestige. It's also to fulfilling more needs of the population. I mean, we have not changed much, but we have improved the services situation with what we do, and we have also, of course, used our state authority to encourage the industries and to get the migration going. So we have enough people to work, and these people will be more happy. And that is our challenge, to provide for these people. We want to be first an economic powerhouse, and then we hope that the rest... Oh, look at that. French-British rivalry, Swiss-Piemontian rivalry. So the Swiss might be in danger to being absorbed by Piedmont. Piedmont, the state that formed Italy historically. So they are definitely powerful because they also have yeah, they are basically a powerhouse. You can see they have urban size center of 4, and they have a lot of things here. So definitely good. They have a good GDP. You can see that part in Sardinia, Piedmont already has as much GDP as we have in total nearly, and then they also have Sardinia. We're still going to look here and at our population, and we're just hoping that we get we have a medium attraction, which is not bad. And for now, we're just building. There's not that much to do if you're going for an economic play at first, when you have a rather small country. But it's good to have that if you want to learn a lot. And the main thing that you should try to do is use all that you have in a way that is good. So we used all our authority, nearly all of our influence. We used a lot of bureaucracy, and we will be using a lot of our money. There's the price report, that's important. Fine art is going down. Steel is going up, still will be going up for the time being. Sugar going down. Nice, so I have 3 weeks, 2 weeks, 1 week. Plop. Wheat farms are in there, so we don't have a high need for wheat. Which means we should probably change, as we said historically. These wheat farms are currently focusing on vineyards. We should have a look here. You can always see if you substitute what will happen. And that will have a negative impact. So we're going to leave it for now. There's also Franconian wine. And it's also a good wine. For example, there's a wine named Domina that is really tasty. So we have wheat farm here. We'll have people coming in to us. We should look into the population here. There's a lot of unemployed people here, so it's definitely good that we build something here for them. Whoop. Got the wheat farms already here. Yeah, we'll leave it on wine, I think. Even though we could have the fruits here as well. And it would even make more sense. And the single crop would even make more sense. So I think we should bolster fruit here because it's relatively warm there, and then we'll use Bavaria to provide for the single crop. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense here. We could get harvesting tools, but yeah, that would be very good for the output. But as you can see, we would need more tools, and tools are extremely expensive. You can see that with the golden coins, that this is extremely expensive at the moment. And so we have identified another problem. We should probably go for more food, but let's see if that's the basic problem. We should just look into the population. We want to mainly have the capital population happy. We're again looking at the people. We have improved it a bit. Let's see what they would need next. Tools are definitely something we want to have. As you can see, fruit is now way better. Groceries would be nice to have, but it's not a big part of their expenditures. We should either go into clothes and fabric, or we should go into wood and furniture. But we should also look into tools, because as you've seen, tools increase our production of the agriculture. So we have here the resource industry. What do we need for tools? For tools we need a couple of different things, but we definitely need iron mines for tools, and you can see that would increase our predicted earnings. So it would definitely be a good decision. We could also use something that would help us in the long run by using our income. Let's see if we could do that. And what would be best there is probably the construction sector. So if we expanded that, yeah, that will cost us a lot, but let's see, we have a ton of gold reserves, so that would last very long. So I think we should get the construction sector up first. You can see here what the construction sector uses. It would also need more tools to improve that. For example, that has 2 construction. We would get to 5 construction from that sector if we had more tools. So, the logical solution to solve everything is probably just get more tools or get a better base production here. I think we should go for the better base first and then for tools. Even though that will cost us a lot, it just gives us that base that we need for quick expansion. It also doesn't cost us a lot of time, and it will help us out. It's a little bit of a risk, but that's the risk we have to take. Prussian market changes, as you can see. Oh, there's a lot going on. Iron, for example, is going up like massively. Standard of living decreased to 8 in the Bavarian. What happened here? They are struggling. What happened? We have to look at our farms to see why. And I think it's clear that we have more people coming in, more people unemployed maybe, and that's why they're struggling. Some part of the people might struggle to look at that. Let's look at the peasants. They have it worse, right? The laborers are outright starving. What happened there? Look at this guy. Ah, these are the unemployed, and they're starving. Yeah, the unemployed are starving. That's a big problem. But we don't have social welfare yet, so we cannot change that. That would be very good. I mean, this will now increase the radicals, as you can see. We should... Well, we have nothing under construction now, but the construction. Okay. So what we would go for next is... You can see we also have... Yeah, we have insignificant unemployeds. So we should rather invest where we have people that are unemployed for obvious reasons, right? So Bavarian Rhineland would be something. Now, what would happen here if we invest something? We still have population over... These are subsistence peasants. They would join them. They would join good workplaces. But in the Bavarian Rhineland, it would even be better. So we'll see if we can invest in here to make them do better. So let's see what we have here. That would be relatively good. And wheat farms would still help us out. We would have fruit here. That's definitely good. So let's just build that. Here we go. Now we have even more construction capacity here. You can see that we're making a huge minus because we've expanded that industry. But it's not a huge deal, right? I mean, we have a low balance. That looks dramatic, but it has really no influence on the gold reserves for now. We have less production technology costs because the industrialists are happy with us that we're going for the industry. Price of steel is going up. That was as expected, I'd say. So we're going for these wheat farms to use our unemployed population. I mean, we're luring them here. We must also look that they're in a good situation. Bavarian Rhineland is better now. We'll have 5k more coming in. And that should improve the situation of the people there. So, back to the Bavarian Rhineland population. We should have less people there struggling. Yeah, they're struggling, but they're not as much struggling as they would have. So, what we should do now is probably we should invest more. You can see that we have a lot of money ready, and we should again get our construction sector up. It will be relatively quickly because we already have that construction sector, right? And that's going to help us out bigly. Let's see about the population. We have insignificant unemployed people, so it would be still best to invest in the Rhineland where we have so many unemployed people. And we can change a little bit. We could also expand the livestock ranches. As you can see, there's a prediction that gives us more earnings here because they are supplying the market with fabric as well, and that will help us out. Also in the clothing sector. So Rhineland, here we come. Attraction is relatively low. You can see why it is so low because of the state unemployment. So if there are more people employed here and not struggling anymore, then even more people will come, and that's what we exactly want. Wow, luxury clothes and groceries are going up massively. Yeah, if we increase the food, then it will also be good for us. And we have also a massive increase in production. It costs us a lot to construct though too. But it's definitely paying up. Now that we're ready with the construction, we don't pay that much anymore. So it's a continuous investment. Let's see what would be good next. I think they're still struggling somehow. we should look if it's still good to invest into the agricultural lands here in the Rhineland. It's still okay. We should wait until this is fully staffed to see what will happen with the people that are working there and what will happen with our local population, because we don't have infinite population, but we have still 23k unemployed people. So, combating unemployment. I think we have enough construction ready now. And we should probably expand livestock again. It costs us a lot, as you can see here, but it also helps us out a lot. Bureaucratic shortfall. Our country's institutions are growing out of bounds, and we will eventually be overstretched. Until we are able to ensure sufficient bureaucracy for all of them, further institution growth will halt. Can increase your capacity to generate bureaucracy by building more government administration buildings. You can see we are struggling here because we've expanded here. That will bring us down, so we need more government administration. We might have been too optimistic. It would be good to build something here, just so they have something there. So we'll build a government administration in the Rhineland as well, because that will just help us out. It will also, I think, increase the urbanization. Here, 20 urbanization per level, and so we might get some improvement here, and it will also get some people employed again. So it's definitely something good. Bureaucratic shortfall is very close, as you can see, but yeah, we'll deal with it in 23 weeks, I'd say. There's an event now, an industrial boom. Our food industries in Bavaria is reporting a small production surplus in industrial goods. We should look into investing this back in the state. What more proof do you need? Industries are the way forward. We are now experiencing the second wave of the Industrial Revolution. Factories in every city, workshops in every town. We will soon industrialize the whole nation. Boost our industries further. Wonderful. So they are more productive here. We have the radicals. That's still connected mostly to the unemployment here, I'd think. We have people leaving the state even, because people are unemployed. Yeah, there's many people unemployed here, but we're doing our best, really, to invest. And when we have more people in there, then they'll be happy. So we have now made a lot of relations positive, and we should invest into more relations, so to say. So let's see about Schwarzburg that tried to contact us. We could... Yeah, they don't want to become a protectorate, but let's see about Hohenzollern. What would they want to do? Yeah, we're still busy. We could try to form a defensive pact. If they would propose it, that would be great. Still on influencing them. Saxe-Coburg, Schwarzburg. Was interested in us, so we should be interested in them as well. Saxe-Weimar is wary, yeah. Saxe-Meiningen, for example. We should cooperate with them too. Now that we have the big guys on our side, let's improve relations here as well. Maybe we can make a combination of very small states. And Württemberg. Baden might be also good to invest into improving relations with them. Hesse, extremely good. We'll improve more relations here. Very soon we have our government administration ready, and then we might work on getting more tools out or getting more agriculture out. We'll see. If we can somehow master it, we will improve the Bavarian Rhineland again. So we get down with the unemployment. If we cannot, then we'll do something else. If it doesn't pay, mainly. So we'll see. If we have wheat farms, that will not be good. Livestock ranches are still good here. So we'll get that going. Here we go. There might also be new, as you can see here, production methods, but that has a negative influence because we need tools for that. So that's why the next thing on our journey would be getting tools going. Harvesting tools makes a good way in the wheat farms. So we'll go for that. Nuremberg. Let's see about the wheat farms. The harvesting tools also have a good influence here. And we still have some stuff here that we don't want to ignore. But that is too expensive here for now. They're already kind of struggling here. You can see our literacy is already rising from the education. Everything is going relatively well, but the radicals are growing because, yeah, so much unemployment just screws us over a bit. Parliamentary Republic political movement. Look at that. Parliamentary Republic. Their support is 19 and their radicalism is 0. That's interesting because that's where we want to go in the future. So let's see. We have more livestock ranches now. And I don't know what more we could or should do in the Bavarian Rhineland. We'll see about that. I mean, we have still so much unemployment here. It's absolutely crazy. Here we have peasants. Here we also have peasants. So the investments should be surprisingly taken still into the Rhineland. Because otherwise it will be just hopeless there. Standard of living is kind of improving. And they're basically forcing us to do something about that. Now if we build a coal mine, that will help us. A lead mine will help us. A logging camp will even more help us. Barracks, the construction sector. Yeah, that's all going to be good. I think we should invest in the logging camps because there's just so much money to be gained here. And we'll just expand the Rhineland. That was not the plan, but it's the way we have to do it because of the population that we have there. Intensive agriculture. Now we can see about the soil enriching farming that we have everywhere. Mechanical tools also there. Nice. So let's see about the wheat farms, and we have simple farming. We could have soil enriching farming. That will, as you can see here, use some fertilizer. Will give us much more output. Also have a look at that here. The wheat farms also give us positive effect in substitution. We'll also do it here. Now wheat farms here also give us a positive effect. We can look into more things. We can improve fertilizers for chemical plants. Or does that need intensive agriculture? So we could try to produce chemical plants. For that we would need iron and sulfur. So let's see if we have sulfur somewhere. We have iron mines here. We have lead mines here. We have no sulfur here. So yeah, we could buy that, but it's probably not the way we should invest in. Got the steam donkey for coal and iron mines. As we have coal, potentially, this could be an extremely good thing to get because it improves all of our mines and also the logging camps. So going steam donkey has something. We would also need more glass for the glass works, more canneries for the food industries. This also for the food industries. But yeah, nitroglycerin. Still not something that we would want. Chemical plants is probably not something that we should develop there. But the steam donkey It's very progressive and we should invest into that. And most importantly, we have everything we should get there. Let's see about our money. Gold reserves are going down a bit. Central archives are going up, with taxation capacity is going well. Let's also have a look at the Rhineland and our government administration. And it's here now. We can have some things going on here. Like, we could change that to the base production, because that will be much better. And it's just enough. We don't need that much bureaucracy. It's okay. It's okay still. We have 5k employment brought here. And that's just very good. Price report. There's a lot of things going on with the fine art. So we have the logging camps built, and yeah, as long as we invest, we will have more cost, of course, and you can already see that they have a huge productivity. Should look into, yeah, simple forestry is there, as you can see, because it doesn't need that much tools. Then we have hardwood production would be good. That's for things like furniture, horse-drawn. Yeah, we will later have some technical improvements here. These logging camps should help us out greatly. And we can already see if we should get more of these logging camps, it would still be a nice plus. We have still unemployed people, so we should probably still invest into this. Wheat farms, livestock is not that great anymore. So it's wheat farms or logging camps, or let's see, lead mines would be good, coal mines, not so good. I think that logging camps would be great, also because of the connection to the tools industry. We have a devout scandal. It's been revealed that Theodor von Schönborg of the Catholic Church has been having a secret affair with a member of the clergy, his resignation being demanded. So he's a politician, as you can see here. If the interest group, the Catholic Church, he's moderate, South German, and he's innovative, technology spread, and a political operator. So he would probably help education and something like that. We could say the people must know of his, but we would rather ignore it. He will still lose popularity, but he's, for the progressive agenda that we have, he's good. If we were like under pressure politically, we would not support him. Yeah, the industrialists are not that happy anymore, because we're investing so much into only base things and not in the industries, but we need to do it to make our people supplied here. And wood is also something that you need. Not hardwood, but we're splitting up the goods production here into wood and hardwood. So let's see what it brings us now. Bavarian Rhineland, still here. We have significantly brought down our unemployment, and we should probably continue to do that. Wheat farms, not a good investment. That is also not a good investment. Lead mines might be a good investment. We don't want to go into the urban buildings here yet. Logging camps would not be a good investment. So let's see if we have lead mines somewhere else. If we have them exclusively, yeah, we could have lead mines in Bavaria too. Let's have a look at the populations here as well. Insignificant. So yeah, it's still the Rhineland that is our boom state now. We'll build a lead mine here. It's part of the industrialization that we're providing. We should also probably, let's see about our gold reserves. They're still okay. We should probably still go and expand our constructors after that. It's expensive, but it will help us out so much. It's directly connected to how fast we can generate progress, so to say. So our first situation, so to say, is to improve the Rhineland. And that's really surprising me because, yeah, if you understand the game basically drives you. We have diplomatic place starting. They want to conquer against Archie. They are all going for colonial diplomatic place, while we are going around looking for partners. Let's have a look again at Hohenzollern. These are natural partners for us. I mean, it's probably clear that we cannot really... We could end the customs union with Prussia, but we're part of the Prussian market, which is an advantage in they won't probably attack us. Austria also probably doesn't want more. You can see thumbs down everywhere. But if we have smaller states, they might cooperate way more readily. Change to our customs union? Yeah. We'll see how about that. And if we are big friends with the smaller counties and countries around us, we might get more diplomatic options. Brunswick, look at that. Turmoil from radical pops. Woo, effects of turmoil. Yeah. But we have good law enforcement. It's unlikely that this will happen, but we will still have to innovate. Standard of living is now increased to 11, which means that our population might soon be ready for something else. Coal mines, not good. Logging camps, not good. Wheat farms, not that great. So the question is, should we invest into something more here? We could do that. An arts academy provides a couple of things, but as you can see here, there's this, and that says not enough qualifications to fully staff this building, so you should probably not build it here. Tooling workshops would be great, but we want them elsewhere. Textile mills would certainly be a good advantage here. Let's have a look what we have in Bavaria. We have food industries, glassworks. Okay. What we have? We have textile mills in Franconia. They're doing well. Furniture here. So we have furniture, textiles, food, glassworks. Is there something left that we could do here and that would still be able to supply? We could have steel mills here. Not a good idea, even though steel should be good. We could have the chemical plants here, interestingly. I don't know if that would be a good idea, but we have so much arable land, so they would be able to use it, the fertilizer here. We could build more furniture, but we have furniture in another place, and we want to concentrate in places. Textile mills, paper mills is something that we don't have yet. We would have 3 logging camps here. Let's see. Paper mills is definitely something that we will also need for progress. So paper mills would maybe be something that we should force on here. The paper mills of the Rhineland coming to us. Yeah, that's gonna be funky. But that should be something that gives us more urbanization, and that will also definitely help us out with bringing the last unemployment down. And we'll bring the standard of living up, definitely. We have kind of neglected our main states. So let's see, there's a scandal in Bavaria. What? Police have shut down a notorious male brothel. The arrested proprietor has revealed that Friedrich August von Giese is part of his clientele, and this information is leaking to the press. Who is he? He's part of the landowners, so the people in power. He's a royalist, so he supports us. Ooh. An indescribably loathsome scandal has struck Bavaria. The captured boys were made to confess, and the Herald reports that another sensation about this affair will soon burst. 22 men implicated blue bloods, and others have fled from Bavaria. He's reserved. He's a diplomat, and he's a political operator. So he's, in general, good for us because he supports us. We'll try to cover up the story. That's what we... That's what we get. He's embroiled in a scandal anyways, so we failed to hide that. Look at the money. Yeah, we might have to lay low a little bit with the construction. But we'll see now. Ah, the industrialists are happy again. Now, once we have the paper mills, everything will change a bit and we can move freely in west when we have everyone going in here. And you can already see that more people are coming in or are growing. At least the people are not going away. Birth rate is 4.8%, mortality is 4.5%. Once we have full employment here, some people might migrate here. People don't really generally migrate to lands where there's unemployment, because that makes no sense for them. Attraction is medium compared to the average in the Prussian market, so it is better than the average, interestingly. We have the paper mills here. Popularity is already going up. And we'll see what happens here now. So let's see about the population, and the unemployment is done and out. So now that we have dealt with the unemployment, we should look to get into positive balance, hopefully. And then, what's going on? The proposal from Sachsen-Meiningen to go for an alliance, and they're okay, so we'll go for that. Now we have the armies. We're looking for the armies because there's a conflict that is close to us. We can see the armies. What's going on here? There's an escalation phase, the countdown to a war. Diplomatic play in North Germany. Initiator is uncertain, target is cocky. It's Hanover. The Hanoverian peasant revolt. And that influences the market. The market kind of breaks down, and that's why we have a negative balance now. Because everyone's nervous now. The market is not happy. And when the market is not happy, no one can be happy. Let's have a look at the paper mills. Still not producing fully. But now, they're doing fine. They're doing fine. Cash reserves are going up. Let's see, we could go sulfide pulping to get even more output. And here, yeah, it's a little bit less people working there. Let's see about the population. Insignificant unemployment, and also the peasants are going down. You can see that the standard of living, we have successfully repaired the standard of living in the Bavarian Rhineland, and they're now a reasonable state. They have no real migration in there. But the birth rate has increased, mortality has decreased a bit, and they're growing a little bit faster. So that was a success. Now, when the war is over, we will go and look for other things to possibly make more money. That was just a crisis that we had to address. So, Bavaria. Let's have a look. We should definitely invest into something. As you can see, the food industries, to invest in that would not bring us anything. Nothing here. The iron mines, not really that great. Logging camps have something. So it's clear that we should invest into something that is not already there. Let's have a look at the coal mines. Let's have a look at the lead mines. Let's have a look at Nuremberg. Yeah. It's all not that super good. The Arts Academy is struggling. Why is that so? We have traditional art, we have realist art. That would not change much. Traditional patronage. So what's going wrong there? We need paper. And we don't have paper, because paper is expensive. Oh, right. I feel this is not the currently most healthy way, so we'll go and look again into what we should invest in by looking at the laborers that we have. Come on now. Wait. Okay. We need clothes. Clothes are at a super premium price. Furniture also comes at a super premium price. Grain is fine. Services are fine. Liquor becomes increasingly important. And wine is also at a premium price. So let's see what we can do there. We could invest into producing more wine and grain. But in general, we should invest into clothing and furniture. Let's see about wood. Wood is okay. We need to look at fabric, if fabric's okay. Fabric's also okay, as you can see here. So the way to invest in would be into clothes or furniture. Let's look at Nuremberg. We've got textile mills and furniture production here. Oh, let's get more furniture production going. It's a heavy investment, wow. But it will pay for itself, hopefully very soon. As long as we can afford it, we want to invest. It's really something we have to be a little bit careful with. Because now we have, yeah, significant problems, even though these are mostly connected to the breakdown of the Prussian market for this devastation that currently happens there. Oh my goodness me. So prices are going up, especially prices for base goods. So what we will probably have to do is improve our production of base goods, but we'll see how it goes. Let's also have a look at the Rhineland, if the population is still employed, still doing good, most of it working fine here. The Bavarian Rhineland is now exemplary. You can see the subsidization of the urban centers helps a lot, but it could also be very expensive. We'll see how that works out. But it's good, it's good. And we don't have to subsidize more because, yeah, services are not that expensive at the moment. With the atmospheric engine, coal mines, iron mines, lead mines, and so on. Canneries are starting. Cool. Central banking also. It's more minting and less loan interest rate. So there we go. Yeah, we are focusing on the industrial side of it. And you can see we're doing relatively fine with the money soon. Once that war is over and the devastation has recovered, we might do very well. Here we have a fantastic productivity here in the Rhineland. Let's see. Pulp pressing, yeah, that doesn't help. We cannot really go for the university as of yet. Food industries, glassworks, but we might invest into more textile mills. I'm always looking around what to invest in. Let's see about the population, the laborers. Got a relatively okay standard of living. Let's just have a look here. So what's expensive now? It's still furniture or clothes, but it's also liquor, wine, and glass, for example. Glass is also something that we would look at. Glassworks, yeah. Not going that greatly. Let's see about the furniture. Textile mills. Oh, let's invest into textile mills as well. That will probably help us out greatly. And then we'll have to save a little bit of money probably soon. We have built a lot of construction. And we'll see what becomes of that. Let's have a look at the greater size of things. The Ottoman Empire. There's something going on here. A lot of war. What's happening here? What is the Ottoman Empire doing? Defensive war. Yeah, they have a war. Russia versus the Caucasian Imamate. Wow, they're at war with Russia. Are you kidding me? Well, that is an influence on the earth. My goodness me. That is also terrible here. I think the lands of Hanover and such have like broken apart partly. Let's also see about Saxe-Meiningen. They're our ally now. What else could we do here? Yeah. We could give them money to further improve and to have a chance into giving them an obligation, which would end into making them a protectorate. Yeah, that's also something we could do. Let's see, when we're finished doing relations, we might do that. We might do that. Once we have the power. Let's see. Take on debt proposed. France has proposed to take on our national debt. Hopefully this is not done with a sinister motive. No, we don't want that. We will just save some money. We have some debt now, but it's not critical. Right, we're going into the minus, but it will soon be ready. And we will have more income coming towards us once this is over. We'll just have to stabilize a bit. I've now cared for the population. Oh. The balance is going bad. Resentment regiments. Favoritism of our regiments in Bavaria has led to an animosity from regiments in the neighboring state of Franconia. They're requesting that all regiments should be treated equally. This is what the armed forces want. Resentful military. We should invest more into organizing these troops. Wage rises. Yeah, we should do that. We don't want something like there. Saxe-Meiningen can no longer be improved. Yeah, then let's improve in another way. Maybe we can take a next step, but only if we can only if we can afford it. Oh, let's wait. We might introduce a tax or two. I don't know. So construction is over now. And maybe we have gone overboard, but we should look into recovery now. Yeah, it's just a heavy price to pay that we have so much construction currently, but we can also do away with it again. Because that really costs us a lot, right? So also pays taxes, but yeah, let's just decrease it by 1 and decrease it by 2. So we're not bleeding so much. We can quickly expand it again. We should recover a bit financially. And we should. We should once this stabilizes a bit. Oh, come on. We will see what is the problem. Now, of course, there's always market movement. We should just see what we can do. For now, we need a good income, and we're kind of stabilizing now. And once we're away from national debt and in the positives again, we will have no problem at all stemming this. And you can see that we're mostly in the positives now. We can also downsize more things, but we will not... let's just have a look if our population... Yeah, there's still insignificant unemployment. We just had to do that right now. though. In general, the balance is positive and will keep growing positively. We were maybe a little bit optimistic in our construction efforts. We have to see our population again, and everything so far is relatively good. There was a mining accident. Oh. A mine in Bavaria has collapsed, trapping miners within the dark shafts below. The scale of the accident has made a tragedy. The story across Bavaria and the nation. They dug me out, but they left my friend behind. I hope whatever's gone is better than it. This is a small price to pay. Nah. I mean, the industrialists would be happy about that. Outrageous abuse of the common man cannot continue. We could support the trade unions. These mines are a blight upon man and countryside. Yeah, so we would have 5% more lower strata radicals, or upper strata radicals, or middle strata. And really, it's radicalists in the lower strata are much less powerful than anyone else's, and we already have so many radicals. So yeah, that's a lot of radicals, but it's also not very, very powerful radicals. So we have to enact it like that, and we have to just save a little bit of money. And as you can see, as we're recovering slowly, this is paying for itself a bit. We should also get into what happens in Hesse now. There's turmoil in Hesse. You can see that they are wary. We want to improve that. We should definitely play nice, because we should have no real big chance to getting the military up here with our big neighbors. It would be far more wise to Saxe-Coburg-Gotha, yeah. To make any plays diplomatically, yeah, you can see here. So many radicals, but we're slowly getting away from the dead. Hydraulic cranes unlocked. It's great for us. Yeah, come on, stay positive, stay positive. There's embargoes now. Brazil began embargoing, okay. Brazilian Rhine interest removed. Yeah, wood is going down, which is not good for us. You can already see that going into more advanced wares is just a good opportunity. What we should look into very often is seeing if we can get a quick positive from the investments here. The Arts Academy is still so much struggling. Maybe in the Rhineland we can get something. Logging camps, lead mines, livestock, wheat farms. No, we're at the maximum. Iron mines, coal mines, lead mines. Not really that great. Let's see if we can pick that up. Yeah, that would change our income here a bit. That's also something that you should always look at if you're you could need more money. Then just look at what you're using and if it's good at the moment. Softwood, hardwood is not good here at the moment. Glassworks, we could go for leaded glass, which is nice. We also have some lead production. And for ceramics, from glass production to ceramics. But that would lead to us missing glass, which is not good. It would get us more money, but it would create a scarcity situation. Yeah, have you ever been at a manual glass blowing facility? It's blowing your mind. It's fantastic. With having that really heated up glass that they can form and blow, and it's so impressive to see them handle that. let's go into Nuremberg and see about the furniture. Yeah, the luxury production method is there. Precision tools would not help us. That's a good. Okay, very nice. Let's go back to Franconia and the textile mills. Hand-sewn clothes. The dye workshops are better. And craftsman sewing will not be better. Arts Academy. Struggling so much. Arts is not happy because of the paper. I mean, we've got paper mills, but not here. Let's see about the other methods. Sawmills, that. Softwood production would be better in Franconia currently. And now we'll see that we have, we should have a more stable income now, theoretically. But of course, you never know how the market goes, right? Always has a lot of repercussions. All in all, our investment pool is increasing and everything, as you can see here, the balance goes up. We're already at 1k per month, and in general, that was just a good improvement. We should look again. Hamburg supports Prussia, Hesse supports Prussia as a unification candidate for Germany. So we might get unified here and thrown out of the game. Let's see. If we expanded textile mills, that could be very good for us in Franconia. Surprisingly, the glassworks and the food industries wouldn't be that great. We have iron mines here, so we could definitely found a tooling workshop. To have that here would be a big advantage for us. Our gold reserves are still not recovering as well as we wanted to. But tooling workshops would be the dream to have. Let's see how much that would cost us. It's not a big influence as we don't have that much over construction here yet. Canneries, nice. Canneries for food industries. So we look at our food industries now. We could use sweeteners. That is not so good at the moment. Why is that? Because we need more sugar. Sugar is hard to come by. Canneries, also not a good idea. Why is that? Because we would need more iron and also fish, which we're missing. Pot sills, yeah, that's all kind of good, but we would need more iron, and iron is expensive, and because of that, canneries are not that great at the moment. But that leads us to the assumption that after building these tooling workshops, we will build something else here, and that is the iron mines probably. And as you can see, that would be an excellent investment. So after this investment, we'll go here and have some iron mines going in Franconia. Or rather in Bavaria, as we already have iron mines there. Yeah, it's not as terrible as it was. It will be good. Realism, realist art for the Arts Academy. So we'll see if we can save our Arts Academy with some realist art. People are coming in here. Let's see. Realist art is not really that great. Bourgeoisie patronage. Independent artists are probably better. Okay, here we go. Realist art. Yeah, we would need more paper, and paper is a bit expensive right now. So let's now go for the tooling workshops. And then for the iron mines. We can enact the freedom of conscience. We have a lot of support for that. Let's see. Intelligentsia would oppose. The Catholic Church would oppose this change. Leopold Graf opposes this change. What would help us there. We would get 100 authority, 15% Catholic Church political strength. So surprisingly, Catholic Church that would profit from it is against it. Which is something that baffles me, totally baffles me. So there's more people against it, so we'll not enact it at the moment. It would be possible to enact it, but we will not do it. We'll just not do it. Look, we have treasury bonds deactivated. That is not that great. Which is why this has happened now. Ooh, now let's see. Once we've constructed our buildings here, we should be in a better situation again. Well, let's see. Temporary revenue. We should also look into taxes probably. And we could introduce consumption taxes. And for these taxes, we would again need authority. So there could be something quite cool for low authority. For example, a liquor tax makes just a lot of sense, but we would need authority for that. And we'd rather use that elsewhere, but it would be so much income. It's so great. Liquor tax. Oh. But we would have to use something else. We would have to do away with something else here. And what could that be? We would probably be able to cancel enlistment efforts here. And then we can introduce a tax. And that tax will help us out greatly. Yeah, not everyone likes a consumption tax, especially not for liquor, but it's very effective. People will not like this. But it will help us out so much. Yeah. And look, the iron mine is there. The tooling workshop is there. Tooling workshop will bring us probably a lot of advantages. Let's see. Could go for pig iron tools. That would need more iron. Or if we could go for steel tools, would be even better to get steel. Steel is coming at a super premium, but still it would be better. Or it would be good. Yeah, but pig iron is a little bit better, so we'll go for that. It will be a great improvement to have that tooling workshop here. It's just fantastic to have that here. Let's see. Is that changing? Now, after a while, you see that change. If we change that to this, we would have a positive result here. But you can see that we should probably get more steel going, because steel comes at a super premium, and iron as well, which is why it is great that we're building the iron mines now. We will need many more iron mines probably, and yeah, that's just a that's just what we need to do. Agricultural industry here. We want to have resource industry here. And we could get an iron mine here. We could also get an iron mine here. Let's just work on our plan and build another iron mine in Franconia after the next iron mine that we have here, to have more political power again. Oh, I'm sorry. I made some noise. I can already see that if you like economic simulators, you can have a lot of fun in Victoria. We have our gold reserves. It's so bad. It's so bad. I think we're also paying interest for that, which is why it would be critical to get that up. And we're doing that with a tax. But we also need to invest, and that is also important. So we're doing that straight on. Iron is so important now. And I think it will bring us forward greatly once we have that. Iron mines are going forward. Let's have a look at our iron mines and what we should do with them. Road carts everything is going well, as you can see. That brought us very much up there. Shell gun unlocked, and oh no, look, our army is ready again because there's a conflict beginning again. Okay, this time it's Prussia against Nassau, the insignificant power. An escalation. Leaning Prussia, leaning Nassau. They want to conquer Nassau. Yeah, they're going forward there. That's kind of a big problem. We should try, if we could, to bond with more states here. Make into a protectorate, start bankrolling. They don't want to do that. Forming an alliance, they would accept this. But we would need more of that. Yeah, we can look into that once we have more influence ready. We will start 4 more alliances. Of course, we must protect ourselves against Prussia. Let's see about Austria. Alliance is out of the question. But we could ask, if we're afraid, we could ask into becoming a protectorate, which we could not ask for Prussia because they want to unite Germany. Yeah, we're getting up there. We're getting up there. All the investments. All the investments. Oh, market is breaking down again. Let's have a look at Bavarian Rhineland. Everything okay with you guys? Yeah. Definitely. Wow. What money we do make now with all of that iron. It's probably connected to the tools workshop. Let's have a look. More tooling workshops would probably be good. Let's see if we have some easy investments that we can already see. The iron mines. Yeah, the logging camps would be great. But we want to have the logging camps rather here. In Franconia, because we have the bonus there. The Arts Academy is so terrible. Furniture. Textile mills. Textile mills would work great. Even greater. Not enough qualifications though. Which is why we would have to have a university here. But we cannot afford the university currently. So we'll go 4 more logging camps in Franconia, as it's the resource industry, as you can see here. So Franconia, here we come. Let's log this. Music to my ears. A well-acclaimed troupe of wandering artists has arrived at the Bavarian Rhineland, followed by hundreds of requests about our generous government funding one of their concerts. Their lyrics, no, you wouldn't understand it, only the saddest and deepest souls are able to dive into their hearts, wide open before us through those piano notes. Their songs talk about solitude, incomprehension, the lack of a serene place to retreat to. They truly capture the sorrows of a teenage soul. How would you understand it? And that's also connected to the Romanticism movement, right? We're still in the late part of Romanticism in 1845. And the Romanticism was heavily influenced into... It was not about, like, love. It is about feelings and how you personally see the world and how you personally experience and feel the world. That is, Kant has started that, kind of. So, with his critique of... with his critique of reason, basically. Because you cannot see everything fully through reason, because everyone has a different reasoning. And that's why there's some surprising consequences to that. For example, that you should probably treat everyone as you want it to be treated. But that is also that it is kind of random to understand each other. Because we all have a different perception. We all have a different reasoning. And that's why it was so popular to display your own reasoning and experience of the world in the Romanticism movement. We could fund them. That would give us more prestige, but also a lot of government expenses. They sound not so great. The intelligentsia wouldn't be happy about that. So we have no choice but to fund them. And that's also, like, Ludwig would have done that instantly, and that's why we're doing that too. The radicals will be a little bit terrible, but they're falling now that we are that we kind of fulfill the needs of a population more and more. And we do that strangely by going for tools. Patent stills for food industry, so that's very relevant for food industry here. We should have a look. Are canneries worth it? Not yet. Are patent stills work? Yeah, they are definitely worth it. Sweeteners also are worth it currently. So here we come, we can make everything a little bit more profitable. Once we have the logging camp ready, we'll also do more. Take on debt proposed. France is already coming for us again. No. That's way too dangerous. Don't do anything with France. It's the great blue blob. Wow, look at that. It's so much overpriced with us that we must invest constantly. There's no other way. So let's see. Request wishes us to change their customs union. No! That's it. It's far too dangerous. France is really... They want to get us in their union and everything, but it's way too dangerous. It's way too dangerous. Let's see what we can and should invest in. Textile mills would be something that would be good in Franconia. Logging camps would be effective. Iron mines, surprisingly not. Let's see about the Bavarian. Yeah, they are keen on the Bavarian Rhineland. We see that already. Wheat farms, livestock ranches, not so much, surprisingly. Expand the paper mills. Yeah, that's definitely not the problem here. Let's see what else we should invest in. Iron mines could be kind of good. Logging camps definitely be good. Food industries, not so much. Glass, surprisingly not. Tooling workshops, also surprisingly not. But why? That's the interesting questions. We would really like steel. We could get that going. That would use steel tools, would even be better. And we should probably get more into the steel and wood production here. So an iron mine here would definitely be a good idea. And here it would even give us instant gratification because the tooling workshop is probably so close. How about the coal mine? Yeah, that's not that great currently. So I think we should just invest into one more of the iron mines here. It's gotta be good, it's gotta be good. And you can see that our economy is definitely going forward and more forward. It could be better, but it's still not bad. Radicals falling, thankfully, a little bit. Loyalists are rising in a good way. So we're in a good situation here. And people will come to us. They will join us. Let's see about the pop growth. Still no migration in there. There's some migration away from us even. That's not great. But yeah, we have some people unemployed. We'll see if we can make everything go more smoothly. Pharmaceuticals unlocked. Very nice. And that's also the way we should look into the politics part here. Law enforcement is there. Yeah, but there's nothing really new here. Let's see. We have different... We could go into the governance here, into the parliamentary republic. 36%. You can see that it's slowly changing. If we would do this... we have one leader endorsing that. And the trade unions, they are marginalized. They also endorse this change. So if we could strengthen the trade unions, they would like this. The Catholic Church and the petite bourgeoisie are against that, but not radically. I mean, the Catholic Church, this will radicalize the landowners, and that is not something that we want. We have way enough radicals, so we cannot afford this, even though it would be something we would really like to have there. Money is growing, also thanks to the liquor tax. That helps us out of this slump. Here we go. We have good developments. Now we have the iron mines ready here. We should look into a further expansion that we could get going here. Textile mills would certainly be good for the people. Logging camps. Iron mines. Let's see about the coal mines. The lead mines, not that great. Food industries. Tooling workshops should be good too. Well, here's something that instantly gives us some gratification. That's the textile mills. So let's keep that in mind. And we have, yeah, paper mills would be great. Wheat farms, livestock. The thing is that iron will just increase, right? And it will make the tooling workshops more profitable. So that's another way to invest in. But on the other hand, it's just so good to have more people coming here for the textile mills, because we have just more population, which is why we just, yeah, we'll get more people going. Whoa, what has happened now? Oh, there's another war going on. That's why the market is breaking down again. Oh my goodness me. What are they doing now? Prussia against Hanover. Hanover. They're cooperative. We can propose a trader, but they're not cooperative enough. Oh gods, that is just not good. It's again, you can see that such a crisis already affects everyone in a big way. And you can see why all of that is happening. Because the market is working badly. We're losing tons and tons and tons. And we must go back and change all of our methods to use less, and then we'll be back to productivity. Let's see. Back to hand-sewn clothes. Craftsman sewing, not so much. This has just a big impact. How about the Arts Academy? Will that be... Will you have something going? No. Oh, the logging camps. No, the forestry is good. Hardwood production is not good. Iron mines. Back to picks and shovels at the war times. How about the livestock? Simple ranch. Intensive grazing ranch. Oh, nice. Butchering tools. No, we need tools for that, and tools are really low. So we've improved that. Yeah, the livestock, it's not really that much, but everything changes a lot. In the end, barracks. If we had irregular infantry, that wouldn't cost us so much. So if we're really in trouble, you can see that there's a goods shortage here everywhere. And if we do away with these goods and have more people filling in for the use of goods, then we have a way better output. Oh my goodness. Lead. Oh. Logging camp. Yeah. Softwood production again. Livestock ranches. And one other effect is also that the war is using up a lot of arms, which is why this becomes so much more expensive when these are mobilized. And they're auto-mobilized when there's a conflict, right? Let's see. Simple farming is better. Maintain a single crop. Yeah, but we also need the citrus and stuff. So this is... It would be both better, but we still need fruit. So that doesn't change. Harvesting tools, not so much, because there's not enough tools there. That's also something that we will have to all change after the war. So that's part of the adaptation. We're in the wrong state, aren't we? Bavarian Rhineland, yeah. So let's see, we can recover that a little bit, hopefully. Come on, next month. Should improve a little bit, but yeah, it's going even worse. The main thing of it is mobilizing the armies. Input goods, shortages everywhere. Everything's breaking down because of the war. Go forest glass. Glassworks, the food industries. Back to bakeries. Not even funny, but canneries are surprisingly working. Patent sills, back to grocery production. Tooling workshops. Pig iron tools are the best. Iron mines. Back to picks and shovels. Oh. Logging camps. Stay that way. Wheat farms. Simple farming. But harvesting tools. So producing tools here, they don't have to go far, and you can use that. Intensive grazing apparently works well. It's just a technological improvement. Yeah, barracks. Cavalry scouts. If you get infantry focus, or that would help us out greatly. Let's see. We can somehow... Oh, we're going down there. Standard of living decreased because, yeah, everyone makes less profit. We will just have to do it. We have to focus on very simple things now. So we don't go broke. We need to get out of this alive. The loyalists are going down. That's the market. That's the market effect. As you can see, everything grows extremely. And because we did that now, we now have a Bavarian market. So the Prussian market's over. We have a Bavarian market. We cannot join the customs union. So they are in the Prussian market, and we now have an own Bavarian market. So everything we're producing has a problem. Let's see about Schwarzenberg. We could invite them to customs union, but they won't do it. So we're in big trouble now, and I don't really know. I mean, there was France always asking, right? We could join their customs union now. We could join the Württemberg customs union. We could propose Württemberg to join our customs union, but we cannot join their customs union as they don't control it, right? And so that's the big step that we will have to think about, because the radicalizing is insane, because the market, we're out of the market. Friesland is also part of the Netherlands, and they also have a great market. We would probably really like to have connection to their market, but the only thing that we might be able to do is join the customs union with France, because we're so out of it and Prussia is going so aggressive that we should not really think about that. Look at that, we have a lot of clout against that because of the landowners. But joining France, France has always been so nice, right? So that's something that we will look at and we'll see later. Let's see if we could maybe... we cannot even join Austria's union for some kind of reason, because they want us as a protectorate. So now we wanted to stay independent will now look at France. The juggernaut we never wanted to join will now be our first option to survive, because it's really that. Alright, we've brought down our military expenses now massively, but the radicalization is so big that we have to join a bigger market. One of the biggest markets out there is France, and there's also Great Britain, but we have nothing to do with them. Austria will only let us join their market if we become their protectorate. And Prussia is just going rampant everywhere. They are notorious already. So that's about it. Will Bavaria survive this? We will see in the next episode. Have a great time until then, and happy gaming. This is Manuel Kahn signing out. See you soon, and happy gaming.